With Street Fighter 6 recent announcement, it got me thinking, what exactly is the launch roster going to look like? So, in this video, I'm going to tackle that question. Now, I'm not going to be adding DLC to this or anything like that. This is just strictly the base roster that we're going to be predicting, and I'm going to be telling you what characters I think are going to be in the game and the exact number of characters that I think are going to launch with this game. So I think this is going to be a pretty cool video to do, and it's going to be also cool to look back on to see when Street Fighter 6 roster fully gets announced, how much of this I get right, how much of this I get wrong. And so let's just jump right into this. So right off the bat, we have to put automatically the first two characters that have already been confirmed from this game. And that is Ryu, and I think there should be I don't know if there's a Luke picture here. All right, I'm guessing this is Luke right here. All right, so we have the initial two characters of the roster. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get the characters that I think are going to be returning from Street Fighter 5 first, and then I'm going to get into the other characters I think are going to be back. Now, the first character, this is a no-brainer. You can't have Street Fighter without this character. I mean, technically you can, but like I think she's pretty much been in almost every Street Fighter game. Correct me if I'm wrong, except actually, yeah, I don't think she was in Street Fighter 3, the new generation. She was in Third Strike, and that is Chun-Li. Obviously, Chun-Li has to come on. Get up here. Put Chun-Li up here. All right, we got Chun-Li. That's a given. Now, the next character that I think is going to be returning from Street Fighter 5 is that regular Kid or is that Violent Ken? I mean, I think it is Kid, but I think Ken is going to be returning. And there's a really good reason why I think he's going to be returning. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that later. I mean, for now, you have the two rivals, and with Ryu and Ken, and then I'm going to get into a little bit more detail for why I think he's going to be in here, just besides being Ryu's rival. So we have that. We have Kid. Now this character, I am going to go with, where's she at? Sakura. Now the reason why I'm putting Sakura in this game is Capcom recently did a 30th anniversary poll. I think it was like not 4 or 5 years. It was like about 3 years ago. This was right around the time of Arcade Edition. It was 4 years ago. And the character that actually topped that chart out of 150,000 votes was Sakura. And so I think it's safe to say, like, I think she would be a pretty good addition to the base roster because you want to put your best foot forward in Street Fighter 6. And so having a character like this automatically in the game, I think is going to boost her, some sales. Next character I think is going to be in the game is Rose. Now, I'm picking up Rose because if you think about it, I mean, if you played the story or Rose's story, there were some hints to like the potential future story of Street Fighter 6 with Rose going on. And so I think in order for them to tie up that loose end, she needs to be in the game. She needs to be an integral part of the story. And so that's why I think she's going to make the initial launch roster because of her connection to the potentially the future story of Street Fighter. Now, those are, I would classify, I guess, like the good characters that are coming from Street Fighter 5. What bad characters do I think are going to come from Street Fighter 5? The first one is Akuma. I don't see a situation where you put one of the most popular characters like Akuma has DLC again. And yeah, I just can't see him being DLC again. I think he's going to be part of the base roster, and you're going to put him in there. All right. Now, these next two characters, Abigail. No, no, guys, there is no Abigail. Abigail is not returning for this. No, we're not putting Abigail in this game. But there will be a grappler though. So, what's? I said Abigail. No way. Oh no. Let's see where this character's at. Uh, where's she at? I don't. Peter. Yeah, if they put Peter in Street Fighter Five, Street Fighter Six, I'd be so hyped. Oh, oh no, where they at? Okay, I see one of them, but I can't find the other character. Well, this list is so wonky. I see. Okay, here, Ed, Ed, and fuck. I think both of these characters are returning. Now, the reason why is these characters are part of Neo's Shadowloo. And Shadowloo is a very important organization in Street Fighter. And I can't see them. I don't see any of the regular Shadowloo people coming back. Like, I don't see Bison coming back because he was already defeated in the story. I don't see like Fawn coming back. I don't see Vega or Balrog coming back. And so I think there needs to be some type of Shadowloo representation. And so with these two being the next generation of Shadowloo and Street Fighter 6 being the like this new future hip thing, I think having the new generation of oh yeah, let's listen a little bit spicy. Hold on, yeah, it's definitely kind of weird. So having them bothly in here, and then not only that, these characters are easy mode inputs, and so I think having these characters like that are easy mode and that connect to the story will definitely you could have some people play these characters and they wouldn't feel overwhelmed. So I think putting the easy mode characters in there too, and by easy mode I mean easy input, not like baby brain, but Ed and Falk are a little bit baby brain. No, okay, Falk is not that baby brain. Ed is slightly baby brain, so no disrespect to you Ed and Falk players, but yeah, this is a little bit, you know, I tell you this, I was actually thinking about this list. Yeah, it seems kind of weird, but like I was legit thinking about it's kind of hard to tell if they're good guys or not. I like to think maybe they're like they would be, but then they're not. I don't know. I think they would just be yeah, anti-heroes. I would classify them more as anti-heroes. Because Ed doesn't seem like the type to go along with being the good guy, but also I don't think he would be the type to go on with the bad guy. Akuma's not technically a bad guy either, but I just classify these characters as the bad guys because you kind of, I guess they kind of would fall more so on the line for the bad guys. Evil Ed, but the next character is this character is uber popular, also ever popular ever since her arrival in Street Fighter 4. She's been in very much high demand, not only because of her personality but because of her feet, which are some people are attracted to. If that's you, then my brother, that's all on you. But if I could find her, that character is Judy. Like, Jury has to be in the base roster for a fact. Has to be in the base roster. And now for the final three characters that I think are returning from Street Fighter 5. Now, these two characters, I debated on. This one was a little bit tough for me because initially I had. Feet's weird. The 1% of Jury fans. You don't like that. So okay, this okay. Yeah, this one was a little bit of a debate, but I settled on these two characters for these. You accept this list? All right, yeah, okay, okay, good. We got the approval so far. Okay, Uh, where 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 are they at? So I see one of them, and then where's the other character? Oh man, oh, okay. I think he should be up here. That is oh my goodness, why is this thing so hard? Well, I'm gonna put this character in first. That is Colleen. Come back here, Colleen. And I'm guessing you probably could guess who the second character probably is, and that is Urian. Colleen and Urian. If I could find Urian, I think it might be his third strike sprite. I wish they would have organized this list by like Alpha, Street Fighter 3, because they have like multiple characters up here, and it's just so hard to find everybody that are in this game. Like, yeah, that's Akira, Batsu. Yeah, I can't. If I find Gil, I would just put Gil in there as like a Urian replacement, but I can't find Urian. That's strange that I can't find this character. Where is he at? Yeah, there's Gil right here. Well, I'm just gonna put Gil. This is ordered by blood type. It probably is. And Gil, but Gil is not gonna be in the game. I think Urian is gonna be the game. Urian and Colleen. Now, the reason why I picked those two characters, I did debate putting Gil in as well, is because this game is going to take place after. I think it's gonna take place after Third Strike, if I'm not mistaken, or during that period of Third Strike. And guess who's a big important part of Third Strike and was also a big important teaser at the end of the Street Fighter V story? The Illuminati. So like you had Colleen becoming Helena. I don't think she'll be Colleen. I think she'll be Helena in a new game. And I would put her in over Gil because I think she's going to be Gil's messenger. So like you have Gil's messenger in, and she's going to be the one that's like clashing with Urian, because I mean they were working together in Street Fighter V, but having her and Urian kind of like clash, and it's going to be like it's going to tie into the story a little bit. So I think having both of those characters, and instead of having Urian and Gil, having Colleen and Urian be the representation for the Illuminati that and Street Fighter. And then now the last character is going to be G. And again, G was built up, has this really big baddie, and it ties into Rose and her story, and where he was built has this guy that can potentially destroy the planet, and it's gonna cause sort of like a reset. And so I think you don't introduce something like that and then you don't do anything with the character after. And not only that, G's kind of dope. I mean, just look at him; he's kind of cool. So I think like we're continuing the story from Street Fighter V, and so I think adding the characters from like that are going to be integral to the story in Street Fighter V, because Street Fighter 6 definitely needs to launch with a full-blown story, and having these characters in here are because they're driving the story. I think is gonna I think they're gonna be in there. So those are all the Street Fighter returning. Those are all the characters I think that are returning for Street Fighter V. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 characters returning from Street Fighter V. I think that's a pretty decent size. Now on to the characters that I just think are just gonna be in this game because of some reason they were in older Street Fighter games. The first one is, oh my goodness, I can't believe this character was not in Street Fighter V. He's the only World Warrior character to not be included in Street Fighter V, and you guys already know who that is, and that's Fei Long. And that's the only reason I think he's going to be in the game, because he was not in the Street Fighter 6. I mean Street Fighter 5, and so in order to make that up to us, I think they're going to put Fei Long in Street Fighter 6. G G appears as lowercase I. So I thought about putting Q in as well. So I thought about Q and G. It was between those two. I was initially leaning towards Q because there was a specific reason. What about T-Hawk? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I was initially leaning towards Q, but then I was like, oh, I think G has more relevancy. So I think what might happen is, what if G becomes revealed as Q, and so, oh yeah, that's right. They weren't in there. They weren't in Street Fighter. T-Hawk. They were Super Turbo, right? Because Fei Long was part of was the World Warrior, but I think Fei Long having a traditional Rekka character in the game, the brothers in Vanilla. Oh, dang, you're right. Oh, okay. So he's in the World War. What was he? He was a Turbo, right? My Street Fighter 2 knowledge is not up to stuff, but that doesn't matter. People were clamoring for Fei Long in Street Fighter 5. He's gonna be a Street Fighter 6. He has to make the base roster of Street Fighter 6. Now this next character, I don't know why she wasn't in Street Fighter 5. She was in the story, like she was in other characters' story. She's really popular. She was in Marvel 3 for some odd reason. She was in released in Street Fighter 4. Was in Marvel 3 with the 4 new. Okay. So for Log K with DJ T-Hawk and Cammy. Okay, I got it. And that is okay. My mistake. Okay. I do think it was odd that Fei Long was not in Street Fighter 5 because people were hyped for him. So we're gonna bring back Fei. So my mistake. He's not part of the OG cast. Okay. And yeah, C Viper. C Viper is the next character. I don't know why she wasn't in Street Fighter 5. She was in multiple people's character story. So she was in the game, but Capcom was like, nah. Well, funny fact about C Viper, right? Viper. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the story later about Viper and what was supposed to be going on with Viper, because that's gonna tie into my later characters. And Viper for sure is gonna be in Street Fighter 6. I can guarantee you. I'll guarantee you that. Now that I think about it. And where is Viper? The Hamburger Queen. This thing sucks. This thing really sucks. Cause she was. Oh, here she is. Viper. So we got Viper. Now, this is kind of a swing. These next two characters are going to be kind of a swing fence. Like, I think there's going to be some alpha representation, because there was some alpha representation in Street Fighter 5, and there was, I believe, there was also some alpha representation in Street Fighter, there was some in Street Fighter 4, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there was alpha representation of Street Fighter 4, like characters that you kind of hadn't seen in a while. So I think there's going to be two alpha characters. Well, Sakura is an alpha character, Rose is an alpha character that you haven't seen in a while. The first one is this one's going to be a very interesting pick. I'm debating on not Lucia coming back. I debated heavily on this, but I'm gonna call the hard reads, and I'm gonna pick. Where is he at? Yeah. I think you're gonna be shocked about this one. That is these next two characters. Oh, if I can. Oh, here he is. That is Gin and Sodom. Yeah, that's right. Gin and Sodom. Gin was actually in the top, I believe, in the top 30 of that popularity list for Capcom's 30th anniversary. And Sodom is an alpha character that has like this weird cult following that people have been wanting, sort of like Armika and Karen. I think he would be in a prime position to come back for Street Fighter 6, especially if you want to make it hype. It's like, oh, Sodom, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, I've been playing Sodom since like Alpha 4 or whatever. There is no Alpha 4, but I'm just making a joke. And they probably would never play the character in the game because it'd probably be bad. And so I'll throw those guys a bone and put like Sodom in the list. Now, here's where we come to the real part. Now, these characters, these death characters, they're gonna be all Third Strike characters. I think this game is gonna have a heavy influence on Third Strike, from like not heavy influence, a heavy inclusion of Third Strike characters, and so the rest for the rest of this roster is gonna just be strictly Third Strike characters. And the first one is, I debated not including him. I was gonna cut this character, but people kind of want him. He was in Street Fighter 4, and that's Dudley. We're gonna put Dudley in the game. We gotta put Dudley in the game. So we have another boxer. We got another boxer in the game, and this character I think is going. So if you notice my list, there isn't a grappler. And there's a perfect reason why that I didn't put a grappler in at first. I don't think Zangief's coming back. I don't think T-Hawk's coming back. I think the grappler that is coming back is Hugo. This will be the grappler in Street Fighter 6. Hugo. Four from Alpha, and no Street Fighter 3 character still Alex. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird though. Like Street Fighter 5 didn't have any like Third Strike, like 3 characters, and even then, like, cause it has what, Ibuki. It has Ibuki, Alex. Yeah, Ibuki, Alex. Who else is a Third Strike character in Street Fighter 5? I can't think of the top of my head. I don't think it has that many Third Strike representation, but. Yeah, so I'm gonna put a Hugo. I think Hugo is gonna take over the spot as a grappler in Street Fighter 5. Now this character ties in. Yeah, you're in Gale. So those 4 characters, and technically Colleen, but Colleen. I mean, I guess you could technically, yeah. So yeah, those 4 characters. So they had 5 if you count Colleen, because Colleen was in Street Fighter 3. But she was Helena. Oh yeah, Oro. Yeah, that's right. So there's about 6 characters. Okay, well, yeah, that's a lot of characters. But where my next character? Where he's at? So this next character is going to be Sean. Now, my boy Charlie was clamoring for Sean in SF5. If he watches this video, this was for you, my guy. We're putting Sean in SF6. Now, the reason why I'm putting Sean in SF6 is because if you look at the trailer, if I can find him first, it looked like Ryu was training Luke. And so, if we're taking that, like Ryu being Luke's, If we take it, Ryu's being Luke's mentor, and you have Ken, and then I'm gonna put Sean. Both of those characters are going to be set up as the next Shoto. So like they're gonna be the poster boy for the Shoto. So like you're gonna have the 2 masters, and they're gonna pass it down to those characters. I mean, Sean's already been trained by Ken, and then he was in Street Fighter 5 story mode. So I think bringing him back to be the future generation of the future Ken, sort of, and Luke being the future Ryu, I think is the correct move. So I think having him in Street Fighter 6, he's gonna be in Street Fighter 6 because of that logic. And oh man, yeah, this is like Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Where that boy Sean at? Yeah, I think the logic behind it is cool. Yeah, I think so because I think that's a really because it's like you sort of have you have Ryu and Ken and they're gonna be passing the torch on to those characters, and so I can't find Sean, but Sean's gonna be in the game. If I find him later, I'll put him in the list. Now, okay, so now this character, no brainer, heavily requested, was actually number 2 on either number 2 or number 3 on Capcom's 30th anniversary character poll. It's Makoto. You have to have, like, in this base roster, you have to have these heavy hitter characters. Like, you have to have these popular characters to get people excited by the game. And I think, and now to Makoto, people are going to lose their mind. Makoto is going to be in the game. She has to be in the game. People were clamoring for her in 5. She's popular enough. Put her in the game, Capcom. Thank me later. And no DLC, this roster. It's going to sell the game. Put Makoto in. Now, so I needed a charge character. And yeah, you really hope so? I hope so too. Initially, I thought about Gao, but I realized there's no need for Gao. Because if you actually think about Gao, he's not, like, his story arc has closed in Street Fighter V. We should be at, no, this is a 24 character. This is at, this is 22 characters. Or 20, yeah, we're at 22 characters so far. This is going to be the 22nd character. So we're like, Gao has no reason to be in the game. And so, who should fill that charge character role? Well, it's quite simple. Remy. I guess they could introduce him as Gao's student, because he is throwing sonic booms and doing flash kicks. We need a charge character. The only charge character to me that makes sense, that would fulfill that Gao-ish role. Remy, put him in the game. Now, and the final character, well, not really yeah, this is the final character that I'm going to put on this list. Street Fighter that has to have, like, some sort of Stretchy Dawson character. Who's going to be the Stretchy Dawson character? Well, that's easy, and that's Necro. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you guys the game. I'm going to give you guys really the game with why I think Necro. So, yeah. The reason why I'm putting Necro in the game, and also C Viper. This goes back to C Viper. Back during like around Arcade Edition and stuff like that, had a source, a really good source, that would leak to me information about Street Fighter V, and he was very accurate with this information. Now, initially, what I was told, and I was told this from not one person, but another person who didn't know the other person that I knew, but, like, I know he's intertwined with, like, a lot of the people's, like the you know, the Justin Longs, the Alex Vies and stuff like that, that were connected to Capcom. Initially, what I was told was when Street Fighter V Arcade Edition was supposed to be released, there were supposed to be 4 free characters to be put in the. It was you. It wasn't you. It definitely wasn't you. There's supposed to be 4 free characters that came with the game, and those 4 characters were C Viper, Oro, Necro, and Q. Now, plans do change, and so you kind of see things happen, and season 2 kind of happened on the fly, and so it seemed like they were kind of set up for maybe a season 2 comeback, but Capcom got pissed that, like, from what I was told, maybe, like, Capcom got a little bit pissed about that they were leaking information, and I was told this twice by 2 different people, that these characters were supposed to be coming in Street Fighter V. Two completely different people that didn't know each other, that told me this exact same information, and I trust both of them. And like, and the one for sure I know has always been accurate with the Street Fighter V information. He leaked to me Colleen and what she played like well before the game started. He leaked to me Arcade Edition well before it even came out. So I knew about all that stuff because I had a source. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that source anymore, but because Oro eventually did come out, and then season 5. Now, season 5, I thought Capcom was going to support Street Fighter 5 up into 2022, but it didn't seem like they didn't have it. It seemed like the time between the characters was so long, and so it's like they kind of like were developing the characters, and so they did pick one of the characters from that list to be part of season 5, and that was Oro. And so that leaves 3 of those characters that didn't make it in the Street Fighter 5 that were supposed to make it in the Street Fighter 5 that were cut. And so I think they're gonna roll over to Street Fighter 6, and that's C Viper, Necro. Now the Q, I think I was gonna put Q because not that too and the popularity, but I think Q is kind of confused with G, so I think QG, QG, that's a cool name. That's going to be the that's going to be less. So that is my reasoning for including those characters. That's it. That's the character roster. Now you might be thinking what that's like what 20, what's that? That's 23 characters. Remember, we don't have Sean up here. Sean's supposed to be up here as well. So that's what 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22. Yeah, 22. That's 23 characters. I think this game is going to launch with 25 characters. Now, I'm not going to put any more characters on this list because I think the last 2 characters are going to be new characters. They could be new. They could be new, not in a sense from like completely brand new, or new in a sense that they never been in a Street Fighter game. So it could be someone like I don't know, like this like or somebody, I don't know. Someone that's in the street. We got a cure, right? So I think leaving 2 spots open for new characters. Originally I had 4, but in my mind, because normally Capcom likes to deal with 4 in terms of like bringing new characters. So like Street Fighter 4, they had 4 new characters, 4 or 5 new characters around there, I think. Street Fighter 5, they had 4 new characters, but I think they aren't going to have as many new characters in the base roster because they need this roster to hit. I think having 25 characters, having most of those characters returning or characters that people want, is going to be the way than just making like wasting spots on new characters that people may or may not find interesting. And so that's it. This is my list. Let me know what you guys think about my list down below in the chat. Did I do good? Did I do bad? You decide.